Hi friends of Jubilee Plus, welcome to this week's Monday Mercy video. Today I want to talk about something that Jesus said that is often only quoted in part. Many of us who are involved in social action, if you've been heavily involved in different social action or mercy ministries, you'll probably have heard people say to you at some point or another, but didn't Jesus say we'll always have the poor with us? Well, Jesus did say that, but sometimes we have it quoted at us as if it was a statement of resignation. As if Jesus was saying, well, you're always going to have the poor with you, so you can't really do that much about it. Whereas actually in Mark's Gospel, we get a bit of a fuller account of what actually happened. So it says that they're at the house of Simon the leper, and this woman comes and she does this incredible act of worship in pouring this kind of ointment, this perfume over Jesus. It's a beautiful thing that she does. But those there scold her, it says. But Jesus said, leave her alone. Why do you trouble her? She has done a beautiful thing to me, for you always have the poor with you, and whenever you want, you can do good for them. See, for me, the key part of this sentence isn't you'll always have the poor with you. It's you can always do good for them. In another translation, it says you can do good for them whenever you want. When do we want to do good for those in poverty around us? I would argue that if ever there was a time to be intentionally thinking about how we can be generous, how we can use our resources, whether you've got spare money, whether you've got things you can share or give away to people, whether you've got time you can spend with someone, whether you've got skills. You know, my tap was leaking the other day, and I haven't got the faintest idea what to do about a leaking tap, but I know that in the church, amongst my brothers and sisters in Christ, there are people who know how to fix a leaky tap. So straight away I was on the phone to a friend of mine. Actually, it's my friend's husband. I phoned him and said, what do I do about a leaking tap? And he tried to tell me over the phone. Several occasions he's come around and fixed various things for me. In fact, when I moved into my flat, I didn't think through how high the ceilings are and how short I am, and that there's no storage in a flat for a ladder. So I can't even change a light bulb without needing to call someone to help me, because I literally cannot reach the ceiling to change a light bulb. So maybe you've got skills you can be generous with to other people. You know full well that we are in a cost of living crisis. And yes, there have recently been announced some measures from the Chancellor that are going to be really helpful to us all, and particularly to those who are most vulnerable in our communities. But actually, there's an opportunity for us to be generous and to help people too. Because for some people, their bills, their energy bills alone are going to have gone up by £1,500 by the end of the year compared to a year ago. And the measures put in place by the Chancellor, they're good and they're helpful, but they don't go all the way to covering that gap. Even for those who are going to benefit the most, even for the most vulnerable, it won't actually cover the entirety of energy bills going up. And then on top of that, we've got food prices going up and up and up. We've got petrol prices just crazy at the moment. So what can we do? It's not all on the government to solve it, though they do obviously bear a responsibility to find solutions to stop people getting swept away deeper and deeper into poverty. But we have a responsibility too. How can we be generous? Maybe you've now heard you're going to get £400 towards your energy bills in the coming months. If you don't need it, please give it to someone who does. Please share it. Please donate it to a debt centre or a food bank or a night shelter or a soup kitchen or some social justice or social action project near you. Please get it into the hands of someone who needs it more than you do if you don't need it. Maybe you've got time on your hands, like I said. Maybe you can spend time with someone who's feeling afraid at the moment of what the winter's going to bring. How can we be intentional about showing the mercy and the kindness of God? Jesus said, you'll always have the poor among you. You can do good for them whenever you want. When do we want to? I hope it's right now. I hope that in your thinking right now, with whatever you've got, maybe you're struggling financially yourself, but maybe you have got time. Maybe you can put in a phone call to someone. Maybe you feel very limited with what you can do right now for various reasons. But if you've got kids, for example, are you training them in generosity, in compassion? Are you helping them to grab that in their hearts to be part of who they are, the character of who they are as they grow into teenagers and adults? All of us have something we can be doing to do good for those who are among us, around us, in our communities who are in poverty at the moment. So this week, let's look for ways. Let's be intentional. Let's not kind of just sit back in our own comfort if you are comfortable, or even sit back in complacency or our own struggles. Let's be actively looking for how can we fulfill kind of what Jesus was expecting us to do here. Yes, we'll always have people in poverty around us. We can do good for them whenever we want. Let's do some good this week. Let's take every opportunity and let's create opportunities if they don't present themselves to us. Have a great week.